building the solar plants before you sign customers up, or as you go, or as the demand?
It will be both. So if one location is ready to go, we're already subscribing. We'll start subscribing that one.
Good. Well, it's at the just past the half-hour point here on Shades of Green.
That happened quick.
Happens quick. It always is. We always have so many questions and so many things to discuss. And we'll be back after these messages, and we'll focus a little bit on San Antonio and Austin and some of the things that Tuan Pham is working on. You're listening to Shades of Green.
He's walking on the sun.
Something you probably might not want to do is walk on the sun.
Figuratively speaking.
Figuratively speaking. I guess we had an issue with that, not walking on the sun, but there was a guy that did a seminar in downtown Austin. I don't know if you read about that, where they were walking. They were supposed to be mind over matter, and he was actually having them walk across coals.
He didn't spontaneously combust, did he?
Well, no, but his clients had many that went to the hospital. Some that fell into the coals.
Mine didn't quite make it over matter there.
So I don't think it'll work to walk on the sun as well. That's a smash mouth.
Gotcha. We'll have to work towards that.
One of my favorites. So you're listening to Shades of Green here at KOOP. John Hoffner and Reed Sternberg, your hosts today. Normally we have Amy Stansbury and Stacy Guidry. They will be back next week. And
actually, none of us will be back next week.
No, that's true. We will be 2 weeks from now. Hopefully everybody will be in the house.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Next week is a pre-recorded show. Actually, a really interesting show. It's about some of you, I'm sure in the room, are following it, the Solar Impulse, the airplane that is flying around the world on zero fuel except for the sun. And it's kind of exciting.
They're just continually flying?
No, well, yes.
I mean, it could theoretically.
It could theoretically, but they get tired and
get bored with this.
The longest.
I think we've made our point. Let's land.
Yeah, 5 days, 5 nights from Japan to Hawaii was the longest flight. See, the problem is not the problem, but it only flies at about 50 miles per hour, so it takes a while to get there. But it's really interesting because it's totally been on sun.
That is.
So they started in March, and they'll be finishing their last leg in the next couple weeks. So we're talking about community solar here at KOOP, and Tuan Pham from PowerFin. Tell us a little bit about the program in San Antonio. Let's start with that one. That is a community solar program that you're working on.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I guess the term community solar, as discussed, it can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And in fact, CPS Energy, the utility in San Antonio, has a community solar program, quote unquote, and that is similar to what Leslie had described, where a retail customer can buy a share of or buy some modules in a centrally located solar farm.
And they've built those plants already, right? Is that the 30 megawatts or so that they've built, or
no? That's different. That the community solar, quote unquote, that CPS is implementing right now is a 1 megawatt single site facility. A customer can buy some modules, and then they would get the electricity that's generated off of those modules, or get credit for that electricity. It runs through CPS's billing system. But that's kind of more the conventional, if you will, community solar definition. What we're doing is actually different. It is kind of community solar, and we're also operating a community solar program for Austin
in
Energy,
Austin, right.
As well, and that design is different. But the jumping off point is that design, utility market design varies from city to city. In Houston and in the DFW area, those are deregulated markets where customers can buy electricity from a host of different retail electric providers, and so that's considered competitive. In the non-competitive markets such as Austin and San Antonio, you're buying your electricity from your local utility and from Pedernales Electric Co-op, for instance. So there's not a quote-unquote